Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursaleen. Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbana amanna faghfir lana warhamna wa anta khairur rahimin. Allahumma inni as'aluka ilman nafi'a wa rizqan tayyiba wa amalan mutaqabbala. Rabbi yasir wal afwasir wa tammim bil khair. ربنا زدنا علما أجمعين إن شاء الله رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Brother and sister, this is Ustad Asif Meher Ali class for Sunday, October 27, 2024. My name is Nisar Shaikh and I will continue facilitating grammatically analysis of Surah Abasa, Surah number 18 in the Quranic sequence. And inshallah, this would be our final session number 8 of Surah Abasa. Brother and sister, for those of you who join new in the class, and I have mentioned many times before, unlike most other classes, in this class we analyze each ayah both grammatically and morphologically, assign the meaning to each word and then to the ayah, and finally compare our translation with the work of the scholars. Our hope is that one day, with the permission, grace, and mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we will be able to look at any ayah of the Musaf and will not only understand it, but also be able to feel its beauty, its depth, and the eloquence of the message deep inside our heart, inshallah. Allahumma tajal Qur'ana Rabi al-Qalbina wa Nura Sadrina. But before we proceed further with the analysis, I would like to re-emphasize or reiterate the brother and sister that I'm not a alim or even a teacher, but a mere student of the Quran, who's spending many hours per week to prepare notes from a number of Arab books, and you can see on the screen right now, and a number of dictionaries from our respective scholars, so that it can save you a lot of time for your study. But as mentioned repeatedly before, brothers and sisters, that mostly for Arab purposes in this class, we basically follow Dr. Suleiman Yaqut. But brothers and sisters, this is a mixed class. A lot of you is starting your studies of the Quran, Arabs and so forth, grammars and so forth. A number of you has already been there for some time, and I believe that most of a large number of you, alhamdulillah, is also advanced students. For the sake of those, that if there are areas where further information than the Yaqut has provided is needed, I have quoted the names of the other scholars, which I basically use in this class. Okay. And I will provide you the differences of the interpretation and their meanings, inshallah. On the other hand, for the third purposes, that is, for vocabulary or conjugation of the each words of the ayah, each important words of the ayah, I'm not going to repeat the common words which have been used many times. For that, I have consulted a number of dictionaries, mostly the Quranic ones, such as Briln Badawi, usually known as the Double D Dictionary in this class, the name given by our Ustad Asif Meher Ali Sahab, and the dictionary of John Penrice, Nadawi, Lutfur Rahman, and more general but a detailed dictionary of Hensware. And quite often, brother and sister, I use Brother Zahid notes from the LQL for this study purpose. I basically, for your convenience, write down the origin and conjugation of each word right on the page of the ayah, so that it can make it easy for us, you not only to understand, but assign the meaning for the ayah. Of course, brothers and sisters, I'm just a human being, and I can make mistakes. So first of all, I seek forgiveness in advance from my Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May He be merciful on me, on my soul. And all of you, and rather encourage you to help correct my mistakes if there are any. This is my humble request. Kindly do that. On the screen right now, I'm showing you my email address. This email is specific for this class so that I can respond to your questions quickly and effectively. Brothers and sisters, those of you who have written me many times, my apologies if sometime I get delayed uh, because of my health reasons and a lot of other classes which I have to conduct. So, brothers and sisters, I encourage you all. So please do write to me and give your suggestion, not only for my corrections, but also for the improvement of this class. And how would you like to see this class should focus it more on Arab, more on the meaning, more on vocabulary, and for the future purposes, how we go forward, inshallah. I will be waiting for your suggestions for improvement, inshallah. Having said that, inshallah, we'll start our class. And I believe we were doing Surah Abasa, and we start from the ayah number 38, inshallah, today, inshallah. Let me just pick my pen. But brothers and sisters, before something makes sense, I think we have to go slightly back and see what we have studied before. I'm just now going to open, I will not recite each and everything, I will just go very quickly. I believe if we go to the ayah number, I believe 17, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Look at this, how powerful the ayah was. Qutil al-insanu ma akfarahu. Damn is the man, condemn is the man, and how ungrateful he is. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala go on mentioning then how he created him from a semen drop, and then how he proportioned him, then how he made it easy, then how he prepared for his grave so he can return to the earth, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned that how he has then how he will resurrected him. Then he commanded to say that the insan has not fulfilled what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded him to do. Okay. And then he continue, and then he remind him that man should look at his tama, his foods, and how he poured down the water from the sky in abundance, how he cleavaged the earth and split it, so that the grains should cause to grow with them, grapes, and he talked about all the fruits, alhamdulillah, different type of fruits and so forth, lush green gardens, following, and basically the provision for both man and human, provision for both man and human. Okay. Now we come, I think last week we studied about Faiza Jat Sa'akatu, and when the deafening blast will come, Yawma Yufirul Marau min Akhi. On that day, a man shall run from his own brother, wa ummihi wa abihi, and from his mother and his father, wa sahabatihi wa binihi, and his companion, wife, and his children. Okay? Now we come back to Lukulli Amri in Minhum Yoma Izin Shaknun Yugni. Shaknun Yugni. So then we have here Li Yugni. So Likulli Amri. So just looking at the words, you can see there are two words, Lam and Kulli, Harfajar. And of course, when they have Jar and Ism come, they become Jaru Majroor. When the Ism and Ism comes, especially this Ism, when the Ism come in Majroor sake, it becomes Mudam Mudaf. When Ism comes in the same case, same gender, same thing, it becomes Natu Manut. So it's a very, very fundamental, very easy Halva Puri. Okay? So right now you can see likulli, amrin. So you can see immediately that there is a harfajar, lam, and kulli. Kulli is always, I think, you can see madaf. And amrin, you can see the dhamma, the kasratayn on the amri here. So there it's become madaf, madaf ilai. Very, very easy. Okay. So let's go individually very quickly because those of you who make notes, inshallah, in future terms, when a year, couple of months down the road, when we have Arab already mastered, alhamdulillah, we don't have to write everything. We just very quickly we say, lamijar, hanafajar, it's majroor, and this is mudaf and this is mudaf ilahi. Okay, like this. So right now, and then we focus more on vocabulary and the meaning part. So right now, since a mixed population of students available, so we have to write. So this is harfo. There's two words, brothers and sisters. Lam is harfo jarrin. I'm going to rush quite a bit today. So we have, inshallah, we will finish the remaining ayah today. Mabni ala kasra and kulli is ism majroor. And alamat jarra is kasrat zahira. And it is wahuwa mudaf. It's also mudaf. And this is the other principle, brothers and sisters. Sometime I mentioned you. Sometime when jaru majroor comes before ism actually. It could be jaro majroor mutaalliq bi mawzuf khabr muqaddam. Okay. So if it's a khabr muqaddam, then we have to looking at about where is this, where is mubtada. Actually, we have to keep in mind. If you can look through lukulle amrin minhum yawmaizin, you don't see anything till shaknun. You see, shaknun is some marfu came in, so most likely is appeared to be mubtada of this jaro majroor with is khabr muqaddam. Or Dr. Abdul Rahim used to call, rather saying jaro majroor mutaalliq bi mawzuf, he made this shibba jumla. It's a phrase came as a khabar. Okay. So we write down here khabr muqaddam. So we say we have to write down fortunately complete word. Jaro majroorun mutaalliq. And inshallah someday I will share the document and I will explain you mutallaqat of the jaro majroor. Mahzoof, khabr muqaddam. And then khabar came before the mubtada. Khabr muqaddam, okay. But since brother and sister, kulli is mudaf, so amrin become ism, majroor, and is become mudaf ilayhi. And of course, it's going to be majroorun. And alamat jarra is kasrat zahira. You can see right here. Kasrat. So easy. Yeah. Now we have minhum. Okay. Minhum again, brother and sister, two words. Very easy. Oh, my pen. Min and hum. So min is harfajar, mabni ala kasra. Hum is damir muttasil, mabni ala sukun. It's a majroor. Alamat jarra is kasrat zahira, wa huwa mudaf. Okay. So if it's harfajarun, I have to write down because we said mudaf, so we have to separate. Otherwise, I was just going to write minhum is okay majroorun, and alamat jarra is kasrat zahira, and this is wahuwa mudaf. Okay, wahuwa mudaf. Okay, brothers and sisters. Now, if you recall, I think many times before I showed you before, when a nakra noun comes in, I think one has to, especially the new students or the one with the intermediate level should know that whenever a nakra noun comes in followed by a jaro majroor. Nakra noun followed by a jaro majroor this jar majroor becomes a naat of the nakra noun. This is rule number one. We call it al-jumlu, either a sentence, washubu jumlu, or the phrase, which is jar majroor, ba'de nakarat, after a nakra noun, is safat, is not. Okay. This is rule number one. Rule number two is, if jar majroor or shubha jumla comes or fail comes after a marfa noun, a definite noun, then this jar majroor becomes hal. Okay. So these are the two definitions. There is a third one also, brother and sister. If a not of a jar majroor, for example, if a not of a the jar majroor comes, which is if a not of amri, which is a jar majroor, comes before it, then it becomes a okay. So there are basically three rules. Okay. So this jumla now, this is jar majroor, متعلق بمحذوف not. Nathan, not of nakra noun, which is amri. Okay. Right? So this then will become a not of amri. A man among them. Among them is defining the man. Okay. Next word is yoma izin. We did many times, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to just quickly copy from somewhere else and put it there. Okay. Let me quickly go through. There it is. I will just copy from here. I think we did many times before this thing. So we copy and bring it here. There we go. Okay. So bear with me. But I will explain again. So yama is in actually two words, yama and izin. Yama and izin. Yama is lafazama mansuban mabni ala fatah. Okay. And this is yama. And this is izin. Okay. Mabni ala fatah. Muta'alliq bi likulli. And wahwa, this muta'alliq which came here, this is muta'alliq bi kulli. Okay. And yama and zarf is always mudaf. Okay. Is wahwa mudaf. Okay. Now you say, and isn't is, this isn't here, is basically isn't. This tanween. Tanween here is allazi li haqqul tanweenul li abdi an jumlatul mazufatu, and it is mudaf ilahi. This become mudaf and this become mudaf ilahi. Okay. And this tanween here is telling us there is a sentence, some sentence which is missing, which is hidden, which is mazuf. Either that sentence has come before, like we talked about, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا وَأَخْرَجَتِ الْأَرْضُ أَشْكَالَهَا وَقَالَ الْإِنسَانَ مَا لَهَا يَوْمَئِذٍ. This is mentioning, tanween is mentioning, إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا. Okay? So this is the thing which is mazuf there, which is compensating, or this tanween is referring to a sentence mazuf. Okay. So for example, here Dr. Yakut has given the example. He's telling him, Yoma is in Yufirru Marau min Akhyahi, which the sentence came, Yukhru Arayu Akhyahi. There we go. Okay. When a person of bad will flee from his own brother that day. So this is reminding to that day. So this tanween is basically referring to go back to that day. Okay. So this translation gave you, which is attached by a tanween compensating for a hidden sentence. compensating for a hidden sentence. And what was this sentence, brothers and sisters? Yawma idhin yufirrul mar'u min akhi. That day when his own brother, he will run from his own brother. A man will run from his own brother. That's the day they are mentioning, and that day they're talking about likulli amrihin minhum yawmaidin shaknu yawmi. Okay. I hope it is. It is very clear now. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Now, shaknun is, remember we mentioned before, Habre Muqaddam came before. Now we can see the marfu noun, and this marfu noun is mubtada of this kulli as a khabar. Likulli, which is jar majrur mahsub. Okay, shaknun. So we write down here mubtada, and this is mubtada muakhar, right? Because khabar came before. Mubtadaun muakhar, and it is of course marfuun. Okay, and alamate rafaiz dammatunus az-zahira. I just say today. Okay, I write down today. Okay, zahira. Okay, az-zahira. Okay, you can see. Next word is yogni. Yogni. Two words. Yogni. Yogni. He. Two words. Okay. Yogni and he. Immediately you look through that. Just keep it one minute, but this is tired. Alhamdulillah, we're back. Yogni, two words. Yogni is pele mudariya. Mudariyaun, marfoon, and alamat rafa is damma al muqaddara lil sakli, because ya came in. Ya, brothers and sisters, that noon has a, if you see here, noon has a kasra. The ya cannot have a damma, is too heavy on the ya. And when this heavy on the ya or difficulty in pronunciation, we call a dammatul muqaddara lil sakal. Dammatul muqaddara al muqaddaratu lil sakal. So we have to estimate, okay? Alamat rafa, first I write down is the damma. Dammatil al muqaddara lil sakal. Difficulty of it is heavy in pronunciation. You cannot say yogniya, yogniyu, so it's difficult. Okay. Now, where is the file, brothers and sisters? File is mustatirun. File is mustatirun. Mustatirun jawazan taqdiruhu huwa. So we write down Damir Mustatirun Jawazun. I mean, Taqdiruhu Huwa. Okay. Now, there's two words, brother and sister. He here, which is ha. Ha is Damir Muttasil Mabni ala Kasra fi mahalli nasbin maful bahi, because the fi'l madariya came, the file is Damir Mustatir Huwa, and ha or he in the end is maful bahi. So Damir Muttasilun Mabni ala Kasra fi mahalli nasbin and become mafule bahi. This is object of the verb. Okay, right? Now, brothers and sisters, remember we mentioned something here. If you recall, I said if the jaro majroor comes after a nakra noun becomes naat, right? Correct? Now the same thing you're repeating here now. Shaknun is nakra noun. Jaro majroor came, which is, I beg your pardon, not jaro majroor, but jumla came. Not jaro majroor, but jumla came. When jumla or jaro majroor. I explain you. I think this time I'm going to write down so you have it should be having note. But let me finish this thing. Okay. So we write down last sentence here would be last Arab jumla. Beg your pardon. Let me get my enlightenment. Min fail plus file fi mahalli rafin and it's become naat or sifa li shak. Okay. And I'm going to write down here for you guys. So the actually sentence would be brother and sister. Al jumlu wa ashba. Ashba is plural of sibhu, phrase. Asbahul jumlu, jumli. I beg your pardon. Bad annaka nakirat rati is what? Is become it sifa. Sifat. It's all proven. It's just okay. Sifat. So, what do you mean, brother and sister? A sentence or a phrase pardon. After a nakra noun, indefinite, noun become is noun. Okay. So this is this basic rule. Okay. Or we can call it the same thing. Al jamlu wal ashbahu jumlu ba'de ma'arafa is halin. They become hal. Okay. All right. So this is a basically rule. Grammar. So let's, brother and sister, do the translation. I think we have to finish, alhamdulillah, 4 more ayahs, inshallah, today to conclude our session. Okay, to conclude this ayah. So first of all, I think we will look at the explanation of Dr. Yaqub. What does mean what is meaning by Shaknun Yugnihi? Okay. So I think we will do in a minute. Okay. So likulli is, I think I have something. Yeah, this is something important to know. I have shown this thing before to you. Kullum is always comes a mudaf. Always remember. Kullum is always mudaf. If there is a tanween, it is compensating for the omitted mudaf ilahi. For example, if come the kullu and then nothing after that, stop. That means there is a mudaf ilahi is mazuf. Okay. Now, okay, when followed by a definite it means all. When this comes in a definite noun, it becomes all. When kulli followed by a definite noun, it becomes all, meaning. Okay, all, whole, entire, and so forth. And when followed by a indefinite, which is right here, then it means every. So the kulli has a two meaning, brother and sister, every and all. If kulli is followed by a nakra, is every, and followed by a marfa noun is all. Indefinite and definite. Okay? Remember this thing. It's very important, brother and sister. Okay? It's become very, very easy. If kulli is followed by a indefinite noun, it becomes every. If followed by a definite noun, it becomes all. Okay? So likulli means every here. Or li means for. For every. Amri, okay? Or every. Let's look at the Imri, brothers and sisters. I think we did before also, ayah number 34, okay? But basically, the noun here is marua, yamru'u, maruwatan, okay? Is from Bab, karuma, to be manly, to be manly. A marraun is a person, a man, one, okay, called marraun, okay? In the brothers and sisters, remember, in a marfu state will be imra'u, mansub state will be imra'a, and majrur state will be, I beg your pardon, I made a mistake here. It should be here, kasra here, not fatha. Ah, anyway, I will just write down kasra here. See here, this is the amri, okay, kasra here, right? Right? But if you put a ta marbuta and alif to it, ta marbuta it become feminine, okay? Imraatun or mar'atun, feminine, okay? And their plural of this thing, you will be amazed, is niswa or nisaun. Nisaun or niswatun is the plural of imratun or maratun. Okay. So this is something, means they're woman and wife. So these two things I remember. So we came from here, majrur form of this imrai, which is called a man. So for every man, I hope it's clear, brothers and sisters. These are just simple points. Men whom is among them. Yoma Izin. I think we did many times. I think I already explained you. Yoma is the day. Izin is when. Okay. And Tanween is a compensating Tanween which points to an event either previously mentioned or understood from the context which has or will happen. Sometimes it comes after. Will have or will happen. You know. Many times, that even from the previous ayah, you guys, and shakka, etc. You have some all isn't come there, okay? So it's referring to day, a day of resurrection, mostly. Okay? So, or the day which has been described in the previous ayahs, or ayahs before, or thing coming, or it is meant for some hidden day. Okay? So this is called the Yoma Isn. So you become that day, that particular day which has been mentioned. So that day, here that day means, according to thing actually, Yama yufirrul mara'u min akhi. The day when a person will flee from his own brother. Nafsa nafsi, okay? Own brother. Shaknun, okay. What is the shaknun? I think we did mention one time. So words are Sheen, Hamza, Noon, Shana, Yash'anu, Shanan, Bab, Fatah. To know or to care for. Shaknu, It's a thing, an affair, a business, a matter. Affair, a business, a matter, an issue. All shakl. Okay. So here we will say a matter or so it will be Yugni came in, which is Salim and Adaria, right? So it would be, we will write down will be. So it's not the past, it's the future. Will be a matter or issue or concern. So each person will be that day will be concerned a matter. Yugnihi. What is Yugnihi? Gana Yugni, right? Ghaniya Yugna. I think it came on ayah number 5 also. So I did not write everything there. Just just to important. Okay. Ghaniya Bapsamiya. Ghaniya Yugna Ghinan or Ghanan. To be free from want. To be free from want. To be rich. When come with the to be able to spare something or not to need. Not to need is that. So in form 4 is Aghna Yugni Ighnaan. To make free from want. To make rich. Preoccupying or enough concern of their own is sufficient for them. Okay. Is to be sufficient, be of use, be of help. It's a Aghna to be sufficient, etc. Okay. Right? So if you go back to our own, actually, no, here, go back to our own thing. If you look at it, I think the first couple of ayah here. Ayah number Istagna. There we go. Okay. There is the Ghana. Istagna. As for him who considered himself free of need. Who considered himself free of need. Here is the one where I describe the Ghana in detail. So please go back and refer to ayah number 5 as I mentioned there. Okay. So that's the Ghana we're talking about. It's the same Ghana. Okay? There we go. Yeah, Ghani. Right? So we say occupying him. So meaning here we take brother and sister, occupying or concerning him. Occupying him. It's sufficient for him. His own matter will be sufficient for him. He's running from everybody else. That's what he's making. لِكُلِّ أَمْرِ مِنْهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ شَكْنٌ يُغْنِهِ. For every man among you, for every man on that day will have enough worries of himself, enough concerns of himself, and that will suffice him. Occupy him, that will suffice him. I think that will be better. So occupy him or will suffice him. Okay? His own matter will suffice him. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, let's go back. Now, Dr. Yaqut has mentioned something about Shakn. Okay. So let's go. He mentioned about Shakn. So let me go for ayah number 38 in my notes. Ayah number 38. There we go. I will bring back for you. $37. Okay, I'll keep it big, then I will small it. Okay, so what he is saying about this thing, brothers and sisters, Dr. Yaqub, is called Tabayyunu Sababa fil Ferrari Lamarau Minal Ahib bin Nasi alayhi wa akrabahim. Means that it shows that the reason why a person run away shows the reason, sabab, tabayyana, make it clear, the reason, sabab, fi farari, from running from each person, from hibbunas, away from the people he loves, ahubbunas, people he loves, alahi, them, wa akrabahum, they are close to him. Okay. So this is the saying, this thing is telling the reason why every person is running from it. Okay. So this is the one, right? So I will just make it small for you guys. I don't know what happened here, brothers and sisters. Anyway, so we just made it. Let me remove this. Came from somewhere. I beg your pardon. I should do the first time the right way. Otherwise, okay. Now, brother and sister, he's also explaining what is the meaning of these two words. Okay. Let me underline it. These two words. Dr. Yakut. So we'll go back to my notes. I think you can make a copy from here. I think I will just, maybe I should put it here or this is a good note, brothers and sisters. Therefore, I may spend a few minutes on it. So, unfortunately, there's not enough room here. Maybe in the end, there's no room. Okay, I'm going to bring it up here and then I will bring it down. Okay, so you can read it. So, what Dr. Yakut is mentioning, brother and sister, about what is meaning by Shaknu Yugnihi. Shaknu Yugnihi. What's the meaning? Meaning that a matter that suffices him. A matter that suffices him, right? A matter that suffices him. So first he said, Yakfihi fil ihtamami bihi. Is sufficient. This, the matter that suffices him is sufficient. Yakfihi is enough, sufficient for his concern, his attention, and is sufficient for his concern or in attention. Okay. Wa yashghaluhu inha aknabu. And it preoccupy him. Okay. Yashghalu, preoccupy him. And akrabu means with the relation of the from his relative, and preoccupy him or distract him from his relatives. Okay. Wa yafirruhu anhu, and divert him from them. Yufirruhu, divert him from them. Wa yufirru anhum, and he desert or escape or flee from them, hazran, as a caution. And he flees from them out of caution. Okay. Min mutalabati mutalabatuhum ayyuhum bima bainihum. Ayyuhum. Lest they demand from him what is between them. Lest they demand or the requirement from him, ayyuhu, from him, what is between them. Because their brother or their sister or the thing, they may demand his good deeds because they are in every trouble. So he's running. He's diverting him. وَإِلَّهُ يَرَوْ مَا هُ فِيهِ مَنْ شَدَّهَا. And lest they see the severity. Li'allah is in order to, not to. Okay, Yarau, they see Mahua Fihi Mishaddatu, intensity and forcefulness. Okay, less the severity of forcefulness, the severity he's in. Like he's in himself in a big trouble of that day, in his own matter, so he's running from his brother. That's what the word Yoma is in that day referred to. When his own brother, his own mother, his own father, he will flee from all of them. So Dr. Yakut is mentioning this thing. This sentence here is as a as a thing. So you can take, before I make it small, you can take a screenshot of this if you wish. And I have translated each word from Alhamdulillah there. It's a nice ayah, nice explanation. So I'm going to take it from here now and shorten for you guys on the page there, because we're going to look at the authentic translation. The resize, I'm going to make it small here. There. Okay. So let's, brother and sister, goes to the authentic translation from our scholars. So this is ayah number 37. Ayah number 37. There we go. So we bring it from here. Copy. So Dr. Fakhruddin Kobaba, in the clear Quran, he mentioned, for then everyone will have enough concern of his own. Everyone has enough concern of his own. Dr. Mustafa, the Dr. Mohar Ali, every person of them that day shall have a state that will suffice him, shall have an issue, and state or condition or matter that will suffice him. And this is what I think Dr. Yaqut has mentioned. For every man on that day will have enough worries of own to make him forget everything else. Okay, so this is the other. So Alhamdulillah, we did our literary translation, we did very well. For every man among them that day will have a matter, concern, and issue that will satisfy him for his own need. And that's why he will be running away from everybody else, okay, from the previous ayah. Alhamdulillah, we finished this ayah. I'll give you a screenshot right now. And I'll give you a screenshot for the grammar part of the, there we go, from the vocabulary part. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Brother and sister, now we move on to the next ayah, inshallah. Wajuhum yawma izin came again. Musfarrah. Musfarratun. Musfarratun dahikatun. Dahikatum mustabshirah. Mustabshirah. Wajuhum yawma izin musfiratum zahikatun mustabshirah. Okay. Wajuhum we did before. You can see, brother and sister, without looking anything else, you can see this is Jumla Ismiya. Right down. Sentences with the noun, ism, marfu noun. So when sentence with the marfu noun, you can see the mubtada, you can see the khabar, right there. No problem, very easy. And this is in between, I think, which telling that day, which one we tell, okay? Wajuhim, so we write down, here we're going to go faster a little bit. Mubtada, marfuun, alamat rafa is damatan. Wajuhum, brothers and sisters, the same thing. Okay, let's go back. Let's copy this thing. We may be able to cover something very quickly, inshallah. Paste. Okay. Tarf zaman mansuban. Tarf zaman mansuban. Alamat naf is a fatah. Like the fatah. And isn't is a thing actually. Alladhi has the tanwunun. And then there's this tanween is for the compensating the hidden sentence. Okay. Musfiratun. Musfiratun is khabar. Brother and sister, just bear with me. You see, that's why I read the sentence. Musfiratun zahikatun. Looks like a khabar one and looks like a khabar number two. Khabar one, khabar two, and this may be the all marfu, this may be khabar three. So this is mashallah, alhamdulillah. Very easy is halwa puri, as our ustad used to say it again. So this become, brother and sister, I will say khabri awwal. I will explain that a bit further. Inshallah, we'll go forward. Sabru, what I'm doing. Sabri Awwal, Marfoon, Alamat Rafaiz, Dammatan. Okay. And brothers and sisters, this whole sentence now, this sentence is a Jumla Ismiya, right? So this Jumla Ismiya, Ismiyati, or you can call it Jumla min Mubtada plus Khabar. Okay. That's most of the Arab books say. Is La Mahalla min Arab because it is Istanafiya. Okay. Now we go to Zahikat. Okay. Dahikat. This is Khabre Sanin. Khabar number two. I have to increase it to become writing become easy. My hand is I have arthritic hand, brothers and sisters. So Khabar Sanun. Sanin, I beg your pardon. And this is Marfu. And Alamat Rafa is Damatan. Okay. Very easy. Mustabshira. Khabre Salis. Salisun. Marfoon. Alamat Rafai. Damatu Zahira. Very easy. Right? Alhamdulillah. So we did Arab very quickly for that. Okay. And there are a couple of there, I think, 3 footnotes from Dr. Yakut. I think we will cover this after we do our own translation. So wajuhum, we did before faces. I think we have it here again, but you can look at it. We did many times before, so we're not going to go through. Okay, wajuhun means faces. We talked about why it came a nakra. Why the nakra noun is more as a mubtada. So that is one of the usually brothers and sisters, if you know that the mubtada is mostly definite noun. Okay, so this is sometimes the mubtada noun comes with the indefinite. It is for the purpose of diversification and division. You know, it's keeping it generalized and open. So it's talking about the face, not a particular faces, but the faces of both believers and the non-believers, believers and the reckoned people. So this is a general. That's why the nakra mubtada is used here. Okay, wajuhum nakra. Okay, so the faces, these faces mean all faces, faces of all types, faces of the Muslim believers and the faces of the non-believers. Yawmaizin, that day. Musfaratum. This is a new word, so let's look at the new word. Oh, I don't think we have a musfaratin. No, I think, just give me a minute. I think this word came before, I think. That's what I didn't have it here, right? This word came before, and that's why I didn't have that thing. Let me bring it for you. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Let me me do just something here. This came in ayah number 15, brothers and sisters. Came in ayah number 15, and that's why not there. So I think I'm going to put it right here. There. Okay. There we go. I think, remember when it says scribble, safratun? Now we, okay. The words are, brothers and sisters, safirun is a ismofile, plural is safratun. And it means, plural is safratun, and it means scribes. Safrun is plural is asfarun, journey, trip. Musferatun, which came in here, ismofile, muannas, bright and shining. Bright and shining. Okay, bright and shining. So this comes radiant, bright and shiny. So we write down Musfaratun will be bright. Yom faces that day is bright, delightful, in bliss. So if you have to do that, we will write down in bracket will be. Oh, well, I have to increase it. Okay. Bright. Radiant. Bright, radiant. Okay. So that day we're talking about face is going to be bright. Zahikatun mustabshiratun. What is Zahikatun? Let's go to Zahika. I think this word is dealt with before also. The root words are dwad, ha, ka. Dwad, ha, ka. Dwa. Dwahika. Dahika. Dahika. Yadhaku. Dah. Dahkan. Dihkan. And dihikan. Dahikan. Dahikan. Okay. To laugh at, to ridicule. And dahikatun is ismofile, which is muannas. You can see ta marbuta here. This ta marbuta, here Muhammad. Okay. So means laughing. Means laughing. Dahikatun means laughing. So that day, the faces would be bright, laughing, and what? Mustabshiratun. Mustabshiratun. Rejoicing. Rejoicing at a good news. Mustabsara. Bashra. Let's look through this word carefully. Okay. This came several times. See? Bashara. Yabsiru. Basara. Yabsiru. Okay. Which is Bab. Daraba. Okay. Let me draw a line here, just to make it obvious. Bachara Yapsu. Okay. Or Bab Samia is Basara Yapsuru or Basira Yapsuru. Okay. This is Bab Dariba and Bab Samia. Okay, both. So you have two ways. Basara Yapsuru or Basira Yapsan. Okay. Basharan is Mastar. Okay. Means to rejoice, to be delighted, or called Basara. Basara Yabsuru is also from Bab Nasra, brother and sister. There's another Bab. I forgot about that. So Basra comes all three Babs. Bab Samia, Bab Daraba, and Bab Nasra. Basra, Yabsuru, Bashran. To skin, to peel. It's a very different meaning. The meaning of these Bab Dar, beg your pardon. Meaning for the Bab Daraba or Bab Samia is almost the same, to rejoice, to be delighted. Meaning of from the Bab Nasra is to skin, to peel off the bark. to peel off the bark of the tree is called basara yab shuru. And when you have basara yab shiru or yab saru, sharu is to rejoice or to be delighted. Form 2, brother and sister, bashara, yubashiru, tabshiran, to bring good tidings, to bring bad tidings. Bashra is used for both. It depends how adjective is used. Okay. Istabshara, yastabshiru, istibsharan, to rejoice at good news, to be content, to be happy. To rejoice at good news, brother and sister. Form 10. This is the ismofile came from the form 10. Okay. Mustabshira, one who rejoices at receiving or experiencing a good news. Receiving or experiencing a good news. Mustabshiratun. Mustabshiratun. Right? Mustabshiratun. So, rejoicing the good news. Okay. So, I think Allahumma ala yawm qiyamah atqalna bainal wajuhu zahikun mustabshirun. O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the day of the Qiyamah, please include us all of this class. Their faces laughing, shining, and happy. Rejoice with the good news. Inshallah. 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 So we write down here, brothers and sisters, mustabshirun, rejoicing at good news. Joicing, rejoicing at good news. Okay. So they were saying faces means that some faces that day. Some, remember the wajuhum is the nakra. Okay. Nakra noun is doing. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saying some faces that day will be brought, will be bright, laughing and rejoicing at the good news. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mention next ayah what happened to the other faces. Okay. What happened to the other faces. So that's why I offer a dua. Allah, include us among those faces, among those people whose faces will be bright, will be full of bliss, laughing and rejoicing at the good news. Inshallah, inshallah. Okay. Now, very quickly, let's go back to the Dr. Yaqut, some of the explanation. Okay. Since we have a little bit time, so I think I'll spend the time. I don't know whether I should bring it here or just leave it on that. I think I should leave it, I think. So this is, brother and sister, footnote of the Dr. Yaqut explaining about the wajuhum. So I will write down here for your thing. So he's talking about wujuhum. Okay, this. So he's saying mubtada marfuun alamat rafa dhamma. We already did. Allazi sawwahul ibtada'i bin nakra, with the indefinite starting with the indefinite noun, sentence starting with indefinite noun. Kaunaha lil tanweer wal taqsim is for the purpose of diversification. Oh, let me change my thing. For the purpose of diversification. The root words are noon, waw, ayn. Okay, diversification. Wal taqsim and the division. Okay. Wahuwa hadisul an wajuhul mu'minin, and it is talking about the faces of the believer. Talking about hadisu, talking about the faces of the believer, and the faces of the ashkiyai, faces of the wretched one. So here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is starting this sentence with this thing, but following that, we're describing the faces of the believer. Next ayah will describe the faces of the unbeliever. So you can take a screenshot for this. And then Then he explained, Alhamdulillah, what is the meaning of musfiratun means. This is, brother and sister, I did with each word. He was saying, musfiratun madiyatun muthallatun. Okay. Radiant and cheerful. Madiyatun, shining, bright. Dwad, wow, hamza. Okay. Mutahallatun, ha, lam, nam, jubilant, rejoicing. Min asfaraha sabaha wa adaun. Okay. The morning has dawned. Then asfaraha sabah is caused to produce the morning. Morning has dawned, and it is when it's shining. Okay. Meaning it shine. The morning has dawned, meaning it the morning shine. Wahiya wajuhul mu'minin are the faces. They are the faces of the believer. They are the faces of the wahiya wajuhul mu'minin. They are the faces of the believer. لأنه علموا إذا ذلك. لأنه, because they knew at the time. لأنه علمون إذا ذاك ما what lahum min nemun wal karamahi. Because they knew at the time what bliss and honor. This is what bliss. What bliss and honor they would have. Okay. Then he said, was safru. What does it mean was safru? Okay. It means kashfun ida kasful ghatai, blanket cover is disclosed. Okay. Means uncovering. Wa yakhattasu, and is very specific. Zaliga, for those, the anyani, with the notables or the VIPs, notables of the VIPs. Nahnu is saying is safrul imamatun anarra asa wa khimara an wajhi. Is being like, see, imama is, brothers and sisters, remember the Sikh people who make the turban on the head? That's called the Sikh. Skull cap, head covering is called imama. Turban, head covering, imama. And rasi on the head. Wa khimaru an wajuhi, and the wheel on their faces. Wheel on the faces. So basically, what we're telling you, their face is going to be radiant. Okay, there's something happened here, brother and sister. When I was moving them, my apologies. Let me see if I can fix this thing so you guys can take a screenshot. Oh, I think there's a lot of things that bad. Okay, this is okay now. Okay, so you can take a screenshot for this call. Musfaratum. Okay, now the last one is wajuhum. This is the last one for what meant wajuhun. Ayya wajuhum mushrikatun masruratun bin ta'ala wa ridwanihi. The meaning, face, bright faces, happy with the blessing and the pleasure of all Allah Almighty. So these faces they're talking about pleasure of Allah Almighty. Okay. So these are the all three things I think were covered from the Dr. Yaqub. So let's look at the brother and sister, the authentic translation. So we go back to our translation. We're looking for ayah 38 and 39. Which is, I think, very simple. I think would be the same as we, alhamdulillah, as we did. To complete our notes. Okay, go back to my notes. Translation and 39. brothers and sisters, there it is. So Dr. Mustafa Khatab is defining Wajuhum Yawmaidin Musfiratun. On the day, some faces will be bright. He saw some faces, okay. I think this is proper. Remember I said nakra means some. If you use the word al with that, that means then is going to be the marfa, right? So refer to particular thing, okay? Some faces. We say some faces would be bright. Dr. Mohar Ali, some faces that day shall be gleaming, shall be bright or shall be gleaming, okay? Mr. Iman Tori, some faces on that day will be shining, will be bright or shining, shining, gleaming, gleaming, all the words, okay? Dahika, dahikatun, mustabshiratun. The next one is laughing and rejoicing, smiling and rejoicing, laughing and happy with good news, laughing and happy with good news, okay? So Alhamdulillah, we did very well. It's very easy, it wasn't difficult. It just, so you can take a screenshot for this, brothers and sisters. You have all this so many times for that. I will just give you the vocab here. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Move on to next ayah. Wajuhum yawma idhin alayha ghabratun tarhakuha qatra. Qatra. Qatratun or qatra. Wajuhum. Wow, you can see quickly is ataf, is connecting with the sentence before. Okay. First we're talking about some faces will be bright, and now we're talking about what's going to happen the other faces. Okay. So let's go very quickly, brothers and sisters. Wow is harfi ataf. Mabni ala fatah. And wajuhum is the same, mubtada one. And is marfu. Alamat rafail dammatul zahir. Okay. Yama is in the same as before, brothers and sisters. You guys can copy it. Okay. Alayha is jar majroor, is khabru muqaddam. This is jar and majroor. Okay. And this jar majroor, I'm not going to write jar majroor separately. I will just write down jar majroor. Jarun majroorun. Muta'alliq bimahzoof. This is the same thing, brother and sister. This jar majroor, alayha ghabaratun. Alayha ghabaratun. This is a little bit complicated. Inshallah, we make it simple. Okay. This muta'alliq bimahzoof khabre muqaddam of ghabra. Okay. Ghabra, khabre muqaddam. Look at the beauty, mashallah. Wajuhum yawma idhin alayha ghabratun. Okay. Now we say what happened to the khabar of this first mubtada. We come back, inshallah. This khabar muqaddam of, this is the beauty. This is the beauty of Arabic language. Look how beautifully the thing is put together. I will explain, inshallah. Ghabratun, and which is coming afterwards. We already know because we say khabar muqaddam. Okay. Ghabratun, the marfu noun, is mubtada muakhar. Mubtada muakharin, it is marfu, and alamat rafa is dammatan. Okay. Now, brothers and sisters, look. Wajuhum yawma izin. Alayha ghabratun. Alayha ghabratun. So this actually, this jumla, brothers and sisters, this jumla here, let me make a proper line. This jumla is jumla will mubtada and khabar. Jumla ismiya. Min mubtada plus khabar is fi mahalli rafin khabar of mubtada awwal. Beautiful. Wajuh. Okay. So, brothers and sisters, there are two things. First of all, this is jumla ismiya. Start with. This jumla ismiya and this jumla inside jumla ismiya. This jumla ismiya is the khabar of this jumla. Okay. So, wajuhun alayha ghabratun. Okay. Wajuhum ghabratun. Faces will have dust. Wajuhum ghabratun. Mubtada khabar. Okay. But to emphasize something, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brought the khabr muqaddam, additional khabr muqaddam before the mubtada second to give a emphasis something. For example, you say, Iyaka na'abadu. Okay. Rather, na'abadu iyaka. Here, ghabratun alayha, wajuhum ghabratun alayha. It Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned wajuhum alayha ghabratun. So this become a taqeed. This become a taqeed. Okay, very serious taqeed. So this is actually taqeed. So now the same sentence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it, and made it subhanahu wa ta'ala is very emphatic, that some faces that day will be bright, laughing, and would be in bliss, and rejoicing at a good news. Wow, and wajuhum ghabratun alayha yawma izin. And that day is it, some faces will be covered with ghabrat. So we will come back to meaning, inshallah, right? So but this entire jumla, brother and sister, this entire jumla, this jumla is matuf ala. This is my sign of matuf ala, joining matuf ala, jumla as-sabika. And what does jumla was? Wajuhum mustabshirat. Oh, let me write down properly. Mustabshirat. Okay? Mustabshirat. Just a minute for the system. Okay? So this is matuf ala, previous jumla, and whatever Arab for previous jumla was. Remember, previous jumla was istanafiya. Previous jumla was istanafiya. This total one. The jumla with istanafiya. Now this jumla is istanafiya. La mahalla mina Arab. It doesn't have Arab. Okay. Now we go to the next one, brother, sister. Then we do the translation at the same time. Okay. Tarhakuha. 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 Tarhaku. You can see harf madariya right here. Okay. So this is madariya marfuun. And alamat rafa is dammatu zahira. You can see the dhamma here. Right? And high here is damir muttasil. This is mafule bahi, which is, brother and sister, we have to look at the file, right? Tar hakuha katrat. Katra. You can see the file marfu right here. Okay. So this is the file, this is the fail, and this is the mafule bahi. Right? Simple. So we say damire, oh, sorry, color wrong. damire muttasilun mabni ala sukun fi mahalli nasbin. It is mafule bahi. Remember, brothers and sisters, there's a sukun here. Okay. Now, katrahatun, we just already mentioned, this is file of the fail, tarka, tarhaka, tarhaku, sorry. Failun of fail, tarhaku is madariyun. I beg your pardon, marfuun. Not every dhamma and marfuun, beg your pardon. Alamat rafa is dhammatul zahira. Okay. And this, brothers and sisters, now we have the jumla. If you look at it, wajuhum yawma izin alayha ghabratun tarhakuha katraha. Tarhakuha katraha looks like, brothers and sisters, this jumla now, what the jumla is? Min fi'l fa'il. Jumla min fi'l plus fa'il fi mahalli rafin is actually khabar sanin. I'll explain a little bit more. Okay, khabar sanin of which khabar sanin of wajuhun. And this wajuhun is from here, not the wajuhun second. This wajuhun here. This wajuhun and not the previous wajuhun. Okay, because it's basically defining. Okay, and this came in a minor yakshaha sawadun wa zulumat. Yakshaha sawadun wa zulumat. I think when we do the translation, I'll explain what Dr. Yakut is trying to explain there. So let's do the translation. Wajuhum, we already know, and some faces, nakra now. I think it's better if I can. I did explain the nakra there, but I think, I did write down something. And some faces, yawmazin, that day, alaiha, upon them, Ghabratun. What is ghabratun? There we go. The root words are ghain, ba, ra. Ghabara from bab, nasra, yagburu and ghuburan. Yagburu and ghuburan. To remain, to stay behind is ghabara. To remain and stay behind. Form one is basically ghabara. But is ismu file is ghabirun. Ghabirun is ismu file and ghabiruna is the one who stays behind. The one who stay behind. But the noun from here is ghabratun, which root was the same, meaning may not be same. It's called a dust covering. The facing which is darkened and dust covering. Okay. Some faces that some people has even described it. The faces with the dark smoke. I will explain further for that. But here is basically mean the dust covering. Okay. Darkness with gloom or dust covering or will be darkness. Or dust faces would be covered with dust. Some faces that day upon them will be dust covering. Or will be dusty. I don't know whether the word is not, but dusty. So some faces that day upon them will be dusty. Tarhakuha. What is tarhakuha, brothers and sisters? So the root word for that is, brothers and sisters, is ra, ha, kaf, from bab samia, rahika, excuse me, yarhaku, rahakan. Excuse me, I have to pause for a minute. Rahika, what happened to my screen here? Give me a minute, brothers and sisters. Something went wrong here. Here we go, okay? The root words are, brothers and sisters, Ra, Ha, Kaf, Bab Samya, Rahika, Yarhaku, Rahakan. Rahakan means to cover, to engulf, to overshadow. Form 4 from this word is Arhaka, Yurhiku, Irhakan. Arhaka, Yurhaku, Irhakan. To treat harshly, to be excessively disobedient. Okay? But here comes this phrase, Yarhaka, fi'l madariya from Bab, Samia, Yarhaka, to cover, to engulf. So, Tarhaka will cover it or will cover them. Will cover it. Katara, 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 Kaf, Quaf, Tara. It has two babs. Okay, let me just make it clear here. Bab Daraba and Bab Nasra. Okay, so we do write down here Bab Daraba and Bab Nasra. Bab Daraba, Katara, Yaktiru. Katara, Yaktiru. Or Katara, Yakturu. Yaktiru or Yakturu. Okay. Katran or Kuturan, both master. To be niggardly. To be niggardly. Another one is Bab. Other one is the Bab, brother sister, Bab Samia. Let me write down here for those. I.e. Bab Samia. Mean Katira, Yaktaru, and Kataran. Katara, Yaktaru, Kataran. Three Babs, brother sister. It means for odor to spread, to smoke using fire. To smoke using fire means Katira. Kataratun is darkness, dejection, gloom. Kataratun, darkness, dejection, gloom. Okay? Means that faces which they like dark like with smoke. Faces dark like with smoke. Dark like with smoke. I think mostly, I believe in this thing, using to smoke using fire. So they would be fiery with full with darkness, gloom, dust on the faces. Okay, so that's what it means. Katara, kataratun is, I will write down here, darkness and gloom. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying in the previous ayah, some faces on that day will be bright, laughing and rejoicing in good news, while the other faces on that day would be covered with dust, and dust will cover them, and there was a darkness, and then darkness and gloom will cover them. Darkness and gloom will cover them. Okay, will be faces for it. Okay. Now, Dr. Yakut has explained a couple of things in there. First of all, he mentioned what is meaning of Ghabratun. Let's go back to, we still have a time, so I think how many ayah were left? Let me just check it. Only one ayah left. I think we have time. So I will explain Dr. Yakut notes slightly. So he said, what is Ghabratun? So Ghabratun, and Ghabratun is a dust. Ghabara yalu wajuhu lematara min azabillazi uaddaha. Is a dust that covered the faces because of what they see of the torment that I have promised them. What Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised them, they're going to see. They're going to see their torment. They're going to see their torment. Okay? So, right? Ghubar, dust. Ya'alu will rules cover descend on their faces, so that they will see azab allazi, which I have promised upon them. Okay? So this is the one, this is the meaning of the Ghabratu. Then Dr. Yakut has explained the other one. Now you come to Katarahum. Okay, this is a little bit important. Okay, Wayakulu Zamakshiri and Katra. What Al Jamshari says about the Katratu. Okay, Sawadun Dukhanun. Blackness like smoke. Blackness like smoke. Okay, blackness like smoke. So you can even write down here. Blackness like smoke. Like. Okay. Oh, I should not do anything. Yeah. So pick it up this. Okay. Wala tara aw hasha min istamai ghabratu sawadun fil wajuhi. Kama tara min wajuhul janub. Okay, we're saying you will not see anything more terrifying than the combination of dust and darkness. Then the combination of dust and darkness on their faces. Ishtamai, combination of dust and darkness on their wajuhi faces. Kamatara min wajuhi zanub. You know, as you can, kamatara min wajuhu, as you can see, wajuhum zanub on the faces of the black, on the faces of the black is a ighbarat, that is covered. When they are covered with the dust, when they're covered with the dust. Wakan allazina izza wajul Kana lazina is wajal. I beg your pardon, actually, brother and sister. This is a literary translation, I think I should write down. And the colored people. Okay? Or you say blacks. Okay? When they're covered with the dust. Then you say, وَكَانَ اللَّهُ عِزَّ وَجَلْ يَجْمَعُ إِلَى أَسْوَادٌ وَوُجُوهُمْ غَبْرَةٌ كَمَا جَمُعُ الْفَجُورُ إِلَى الْكَفِّ. And Allah, God Almighty combined the dust. God Allah Almighty combined dust with the blackness on their faces, just as they combine with the immorality and disbelief. Just as they combine the immorality of the disbelief of the kuffar. So this is a paradox. This is a this is the this is this is the paradigm of ascribing, covered with the dust and darkness. Okay, so you guys can take a screenshot for these two. Rather than me carrying on that side, we don't have much time today. Okay, so here is the reference of the thing. Okay, all right. And brothers and sisters, you know that I did meaning of the each word, what they basically mean, their factory. And then I went through my translation. I will check the translation with the Google Translate and try to make some meaning out of it. Okay. So that I think we'll do that. Okay. Let's look at the authentic translation now. I'm now going to bring on this page. There's not much room. I gave you a screenshot of which I did there. So let's go back to the translation of Ayat 40 and 41. Ayat 40, copy. Then I go to the Ayat 41. Okay. Here we say, Wajuhum Yawmaizin Laha Gabratun. Dr. Mustafa Khattab is explaining that thing, saying laughing and rejoicing, cast in gloom. I beg your pardon. I think there's something wrong. I did a mistake. Wajuhum Yawmaizin. This is the previous ayah, brothers and sisters. I said laughing. Astaghfirullah. 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 What I did here, So this is the one which I'm supposed to take. Oh, he didn't copy. He just copied the previous one. That's why you say, why? I did do the right thing, but it didn't come out right. Yeah. Okay. Wajuhum yawmaizin alaiha ghabratum. While some other faces will be dusty. Some other faces will be dusty. Some faces will have that day on them dust. And other faces on that day shall be covered with dust. Shall be covered with dust covering. And then you say, Tarhakuha Patarah. Cast in gloom, they will overtake them with gloom, veiled in darkness. Will cover, will cover it. Veiled in darkness. They are beautiful words. Veiled in darkness. I think I should use this word. Veiled. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So you can take a screenshot of this thing. So we go to inshallah, move on to we have around 10 minutes to finish the next ayah and then our surah, inshallah. We may not have a time for summary. I think you guys can summarize yourself. My initial intention was to summarize the entire surah in the last 15 minutes, but I think we are going to be a bit over time today. So we goes to this. This is your vocabulary page, okay? All right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ulaika humul kafaratul fajra. Kafratul fajra. Ulaika humul kafratul fajra. So again, brother and sister, very, very simple. Very simple, straightforward. Ayah, walaika hum ishara, hum kafratun. You see, brother and sister, just to remember, marfa, the noun, here it is, and marfa noun from al, marfa and marfa. So we have an issue between mubtada and khabar, they both marfa. Usually, this is a marfa, this should be nakra. But when the two marfa noun come by side, we use what you call damiru faslun, a damir which separate them. Okay, a damir which separate the mubtada and khabar to avoid the ambiguity. Right now is ambiguity because two noun can become not a manut something. Okay, so one has to be very, very careful for that. And this is a Aslub al-Quran. Beautiful thing here. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives it different. This is actually emphatic, very emphatic sometimes. And I'll give you the both way. The Arabs of the both way, when we can take this Zamir Faslun or we can take a Zamir Munfaslun. It can be taken both. Okay. So let's start. Alhamdulillah. This is start with, you can look through his Jumla Ismiya. Okay. You can see just right. So Ulaika is Ulai. Just let me take my pen, red. Ulai and Ka. Okay. Ulai is brother and sister, is Ismu Ishara, Mabni Allah Kasra. And here is Fi Mahalli Rafin, and it came as a Mubtada. Okay. And what is referring to, brother and sister? Is referring to al-wajuhum al-mughfaratun. Is referring to this wajuhun. Wajuhun al-musfaratun. Al-ghabratun. Sorry, not musfar, al-ghabratun. Okay. Al-mughbaratun. Al-mughbaratun. So ulaika is mubtada, ismu ishara, and ka is harfu khatam. Harfu khitab. Oh, let me write down. Harfun khitabun, and is mabni ala fatah. Okay, right? So I will come and explain this like a little bit more. Okay, so and then whom, brother, sister, now we have a two possibilities. Okay, as I described it. Number one, whom is the miro faslun, which I prefer actually. The miro faslun. The mirun faslun or the mirun faslun, either one. Okay, the mirun faslun, and this is mabni ala. Actually, is a sukoon, but the sukoon here is changed to dhamma to avoid the iltaqai sakinin. Okay, if there is a sukoon here to avoid that thing is dhamma. Humul kafratun. Okay, humul kafratun mabni ala sukoon. Now this sukoon is allazi hurrika ala dhamma ila adam manan liltaqai sakin. Okay, to avoid the meeting of the two schools. Okay, all right. This is one interpretation. Al kafra is khabre awwal. Khabar number 1 of ulai. Ulai is obvious. I'm not going to write. Khabar number 1. And no, I think to differentiate, I have to write down of the ulai. Okay. And it is marfu. And alamati rafa is dammatu dammatan. Dammatu zahir. Okay. Al-kafru. Because of the al, not kafratun. Al-kafru. Okay. Al-fajara is khabar number 2. Khabar thani of ulai. And is marfu. Alamati rafa is dammatu zahir. Okay. So this is the one interpretation. Ulaika humul kafratun fajratun. Okay, al kafratun fajratun. It could be al kafratun fajratun will be natu manut also. Okay, just remember, but that's okay. So khabri awwal is al kafratu khabri awwal wa huwa manut, and al fajratun is nat. Okay. So this is the one interpretation. Okay. Now we go. I'm going to draw the line here. This is one. Number 2. Just the beauty of the Quran, brothers and sisters. You know, I hope you're enjoying it. I really enjoyed this thing. This is just a beautiful, you know. So number 2 is damire munfasilun. And mabni ala sukoon, and the remaining is the same thing as top. Okay, ullazi harka dama min assignment saklin. And this actually now become they become fi mahalli rafin. It become mubtada sanin. Okay. Now if this become mubtada sanin, then al-kafru becomes khabar. I will just copy here. Okay, khabar. And that's become a khabar. This become khabar hum. And the same thing that become khabar to hum. Okay. Khabar to hum. Okay. Now, brothers and sisters, this jumla now is jumla. Let me take this thing out. This jumla now. This jumla is the beauty of the Quran, brothers and sisters. Let me write down jumla min mubtada number 2 and it khabar 1 and 2 is basically khabar, become khabar al-mubtada ulai. Now, you can see, brothers and sisters, beautiful here. I take my button. This is the mubtada and this jumla hum kafratun fajratun. This could be khabar 1 and not, khabar 1 and not, or khabar 1, khabar 2, either way. And depending upon what the meaning you want to put it in, alhamdulillah, emphatic. But again, the important point is, brothers and sisters, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought these two mubtadas here, two things here, two mubtada and khabar here, and separate with the damire faslun. Okay, and this is for emphatic reason. Or you can say this ulaika mubtada and hum kafratun is entire one is fi'l. So the two things. Jumla ismiya first. This is jumla ismiya. Among this jumla ismiya is another jumla ismiya. So this another jumla ismiya become khabar of the first jumla. Alhamdulillah, so beautifully done. But this is again the mere muttasil is brought up for taqeed, So for emphasis. We should put down different color here. They both are basically taqeed. The jumla ismiya is taqeed of jumla ismiya. Or jumla ismiya followed by damire faslun to separate its khabar and then following. Okay, so correct. So it's a beautiful, mashallah. It's just gorgeous. So let's do quickly the translation. We have only 10 minutes maximum left, brothers and sisters. We have to cover a couple of things. So that they will say those, like those, whom is they, emphasis. Yeah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can say those the kafra, kafir, those are kafir are fajur, the wicked ones. Okay, but those the kafir are the wicked ones. So emphasis. Al kafratun. I think al kafratun. I think we did before. Very quickly, kafara yakfaru or kafara yakfiru. Bab nasra, bab sarniya. To conceal, to hide, to cover, to think. Okay. Kafara, yukaffiru, to forgive and to grant pardon. Okay, this is form 2. Form 4 is akfara, yukfiru, it's foreign, to make someone disbelieve. Okay, kafirun, we all know very thing, is mufa'al, is plural, jama muzakkar salim is kafiruna, or jama taksir is kufarun, and kafratun is intensive plural, or jamaul mustamihi, obstinate disbeliever, is an intensive plural. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the intensive plural, name of intensive plural. Let's do the other one also quickly, so we don't have to come back. Fajara, yafjaru, fajran, means bab nasra, to break up, to clean. Fajuran is to act immorally. Fajrun is dawn, daybreak, morning, twilight. Fajrun is mufa'al. Fajrun is mufa'al, is plural is again fajratun or fujjarun. Fajratun or fujjarun. This is mubalagha here. Liar, one who is acting immorally, wickedly, sinfully, transgressor, adulterer, fornicate, all the use this thing. Okay. So there Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala both use the intensive forms. The obstinate disbeliever, the obstinate disbeliever, and Fujara is the real wicked one. It has to be better word in English actually. Unfortunately, is a transgressor, the adulterer, one who is acting very intensively immorally. Okay, so those are the ones. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning wajuhum yawma izin alayha ghabratun tarhaquha qatraha ulaika humul kafratul fajra. Means those are the one who is the obstinate disbeliever and the wicked. Okay, so we don't have much time, brothers and sisters. So I just want to point out one thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned this ulaika mubtada. I just want to emphasize there. This mubtada is basically referring, ulaika referring to wajuhun mughbaratun, the dust-covered faces. And this is the same one indirectly referring to with the ayah number came, amma mastagna. Amma manastagna, the one who thinks they're free of need, they are referring to from the surah which has started that way, they are referring to the same people. Ulaika thing. It could be wajuhun mughbaratu or ammaman astaghna. They think they have no need for anything, no need for guidance, religion, or anything. Okay, those are the people Allah Subhanahu wa Taala mentioning. Their faces will be covered with dust, and these are the unobstinate people. Let's quickly look at the authentic translation, and we conclude our ayah for that. Okay, so 41. This is the one we have it. Copy. Go back. So Dr. Mustafa Khattab is saying, those are the disbeliever, the wicked sinners. Those are the believer, the wicked sinners. I think the wicked sinner is better. I think I may change. I may change it here. I was looking for intensity. I think this is better. The wicked sinners. Okay. So, those are the disbeliever, the wicked sinner. Dr. Mohroli, such ones, they are the unbeliever, the sinful. Those are the unbeliever, the wicked ones. Okay. So this actually, alhamdulillah, conclude our ayah, our thing actually, and then we don't have a time to revise it, but alhamdulillah. So summa bihamdulillah ta'ala wa husni tawfiq ya Rabbul Surah Abasa for the then I think then done with your computer with the praise of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and his tawfiq for us to complete the parsing of the Surah Abasa, and according to our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, min qara suratun Abasa wa tawalla jaa yawmal qiyamah wajuhu dahikun muswaratun. And we say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whoever recite the Surah Abasa on the day of the Qiyamah, his faces will be laughing and will be cheerful. Okay, so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala include us all عند يوم القيامة. I always offer اللهم على يوم القيامة أثقل بين وجوه ضاحك مستبصرة. Oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the day of Yawm al-Qiyamah, please include us among the faces, among those faces whose faces would be smiling with joy, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairun. And we will offer very quickly dua, brothers and sisters, and then we conclude our class. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. O Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, enlighten our homes and our family with the light of the Quran and instill this light in the hearts of our children. Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Muqallib al-Qulub Sabbat Qulubina ala Dinika. Allahumma itim lana nurun waqfil lana innaka ala kulli shay'in qadir. اللهم أنت اجعل القرآن ربيع قلوبنا ونور صدورنا. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a very special mercy on the people of Palestine and Gaza. Jazakumullahu khairun. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Inshallah, next week we start a new surah. Jazakumullahu khairun.